888-971-SAGE, 888-971-SAGE. On this Phone a Bro Friday, my brother and I will be giving away a MyPillow and copies of Dear Father, Dear Son to our two contestants. More on this in due course. An illegal alien, the one that was acquitted of murdering Kate Steinle, guess what? Suing the feds for, quote, vindictive prosecution. Hashtag chutzpah. Should Deputy FBI Agent McCabe, the one who wanted to resign but now doesn't want to resign to make sure he gets his pension, shouldn't he be more concerned about staying out of prison than his pension? More documents. High school in Parkland show either failure by the Broward County Sheriff to properly train officers or deputies ignored training. But first, I had to tell you. This afternoon, I'm watching MSNBC, and it's the Brooke Baldwin show. She's got two pundits, one to our left, one to our right. The one on the right is essentially saying that the allegation against Donald Trump having had an affair with the porn star is irrelevant to his job as president. It took place well before he became president. People knew that he wasn't a choir boy. Pretty much making the same arguments that I've made. Pretty much. But the guy on the other side said over and over again, why don't you just say you're okay with the president of the United States sleeping with a porn star? Just say it. And he said, what I will say is that whatever happened before he became president is not relevant. Why don't you just say you're okay with the president of the United States having slept with a porn star? Just say it. Just say it. And he said it over and over and over again. Are we living on the same planet? Is this the same media? And again, I'm not sure whether it was, I said Brooke Baldwin. Is she CNN or is she MSNBC? I can't remember. Whatever one, it's Brooke Baldwin. Whatever cable it is. I think okay, it's CNN then. CNN. Did you guys care that Hillary had been accused of orchestrating the nuts or slut strategy? That's a term that was used by the Republicans. There are two books written by two credible writers. I've told you about them before. One is the one written by Christopher Hitchens, a lefty who used to write for Nation magazine. And the foreword was written by Douglas Brinkley, a very respected historian. And in that book, he says that Bill Clinton was accused not once, not twice, but 3 times, plausibly of rape, and that Hillary was orchestrating the nuts or slut strategy to malign the accusers of her husband. Now, if anybody asked Hillary about it during the campaign, I didn't hear it. The other book is written by Barbara Olson, who died on 9/11. Very respected writer, conservative. Married to Tan Olson, the former Solicitor General of the United States. These are two powerful people, a power couple, very respected in conservative circles. She wrote a book called Hell to Pay and said that Hillary was the one who hired detectives, hired lawyers, dug up dirt on the women who made accusations against her husband to malign them, to intimidate them, to make sure they didn't come forward. And of course, Juanita Broaddrick claims that 2 weeks after having been raped by Bill Clinton, she was verbally intimidated by Hillary. Did anybody give a rip during 2016? Anybody? Now, I've told you before, you look at lists of favorite presidents all time, according to Democrats. Who do they list as number 1? Modern presidents. Jack Kennedy. Number 2, Bill Clinton. Some of them have Clinton first, some of them have Kennedy first. Sometimes they put in FDR. I guess they assume that he's a modern president. Either way, all 3 of them. I'm holding in my baby brown libertarian fingers. Article from the Daily Mail, November 25, year of our Lord, 2012. Quote, FDR's love nest in the park, how President took 5 mistresses to a country getaway, including his distant cousin. Is this thing on? FDR's love nest in the park, how President took 5 mistresses to a country getaway, including his distant cousin. This is from www.biography.com, FDR and his women. Margaret Missy LeHand had come to work as Franklin's secretary. Over the years, they developed a very close relationship, with Missy serving as one of Franklin's main friends and confidants. She lived in the White House during his presidency, and when she suffered a stroke, Franklin altered his will to include her. Eleanor and all her children were warm towards Missy and considered her one of the family. Franklin's son, Elliot, later on revealed that his father and Missy had a long affair, and it seems likely that the family was aware of it at a time. Shall I keep going? Early in their marriage, love letters between her husband and Lucy Mercer, a young woman that she had hired to be her secretary. Eleanor had long suspected that something was going on between her handsome, vibrant husband and her vivacious secretary. In fact, she had fired Lucy, ostensibly because she no longer needed her services, but the evidence is that she was concerned about an affair. And it turns out they still continue to see each other. Jack Kennedy didn't have porn stars in the White House. He had prostitutes. And they had swimming pool parties. And all the reporters knew about it. Now, it's one thing if when this stuff comes out after he's dead and Democrats go, oh, wow, I had no idea about that. That really alters my opinion about him. But it hasn't affected a damn thing. You still revere him. There's a CNN documentary right now on FDR. On JFK. I bet you anything he doesn't have any of this stuff in there. Haven't seen it yet. Don't want to prejudge something I haven't seen. But given the whitewash documentary that PBS did on Bill Clinton, where they kept saying over and over again he inherited a recession, when in fact he inherited a booming economy, I'm not particularly optimistic. Put it that way. Hookers in the White House, according to the book written by Seymour Hersh, who used to work for the New York Times, and you guys love the New York Times, called The Dark Side of Camelot. He had a venereal disease which he kept giving and getting and giving and giving and giving and getting and giving and giving. You tell me to whom and with whom. Bobby Kennedy, serial cheater, one of his good friends, Robert Goodwin, said, well, yeah, it's a Kennedy tradition to cheat on your wives, but Bobby was a little more selective than Jack was. Oh, good to know. Again, you're all aware of this. Has it altered your opinion of Robert Kennedy? It has not. Bill Clinton, plausibly accused of 3 rapes, according to Christopher Hitchens. When the book came out during his presidency, wouldn't you have thought maybe somebody in the New York Times, the Washington Post would have called Hitch and said, wow, 3? Can you give me a little more dope on that? You know, kind of like the way you did when the Michael Wolff book came out about Donald Trump, when he was everybody's go-to guy. Nobody gave a rip. Nobody cared. Ted Kennedy, expose in Gentleman's Quarterly in 1990 while he's still in the Senate. He and Chris Dodd attacking waitresses, attacking them. One guy hired just to procure women for Ted. The T-shirt girl, somebody he met through his son who sold T-shirts on the beach, was living with him. You guys, when he retired, when he died, what was he, the lion of the Senate, the conscience of the Senate? You guys are so phony. Oh my goodness, why don't you say it's okay with you that the president slept with a porn star? Honestly. When we come back, you'll hear the exchange I'm referring to. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. And new documents show either failure by the Broward County Sheriff to do his job or complete misunderstanding of what he was supposed to do. And differing opinions on the addition of Lawrence Kudlow as President Trump's top economic advisor. One from somebody who's an expert in finance, and one from somebody who's less than an expert in finance. I'm Larry Elder.
Larry Elder.